Seven.
Yeah, damn it. It should have been 3.
I had Wilder. We'll talk about it when we go on, but I had Wilder in 6.
All right, brother. We're here. What's up, my brother?
My man, nice to see you again.
And we have a big thing to discuss today.
We do. We do. And I have to go on record is that I have to concede that you called it. I believe we were training together. It was the day before.
Yeah.
You switched, though, midstream.
I did. It wasn't even midstream. It was the 11th hour.
It was the 11th hour.
Yes.
You did switch. But I had it going the other way. I was supremely disappointed.
You know, what's the big issue of the fight? And that's that was the thing that sort of had me toggling between Fury and Wilder in the 11th hour was the weight issue. And a lot of people were shoo-shooing it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were making it a real big deal.
Right.
Like, what in the hell is Fury doing?
Yeah, he was the heaviest. I believe he was the heaviest of his career.
Yeah.
But if you looked at him, as you mentioned when we were talking earlier, he looked leaner.
Yes.
But I hadn't seen him, weigh in. I was too busy throughout the week.
Yeah.
I didn't see the weigh in. So I wasn't able to assess what he looked like from a physical standpoint.
Yeah, at the weigh-in, he was covered. He had his shirt on.
Yeah, he had like a tracksuit on. Right?
Yeah, he had, I can't even remember what he had on. I think it was something black. But you could see his arms. Mm-hmm. And when I saw his triceps, I was like, wait a minute. This guy's been training.
Yes.
And underneath that shirt, I bet you he doesn't have that, I just lost 100 pounds of fat look.
Yes.
And during the fight, he did look a little leaner.
He did. He moved better as far as I'm concerned. But the thing is, you can't tell with Wilder is he's shredded no matter.
Yeah. He can add that 17, 19, whatever it was, and he still looked.
I didn't understand, as I mentioned to you, why he put on the extra weight. He knocked him down at, 209, 212?
212, yeah.
So what was to me, I have to question who ran his camp.
Right.
And why they advised him to put weight on it. To me, he's been knocking guys out for 41 or 42 fights prior to this at 209 to 212. Why? I just want to know why do you want to go to 231? Was it 231?
He was 231, dude.
231.
Bro, right now I weigh about 215. If I jumped up to 231, I'd feel it.
Oh.
And that's 16. I'd feel it. I'd feel sluggish.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a prime athlete. You're still adding,
I don't know,
20 pounds.
That's a lot of weight to move. I mean, and especially in the ring.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't really have a whole lot of footwork.
No. And funny that you say that. The latest excuse, I don't know if you've read, is
yes.
The costume was 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And when he got into the ring, he felt like he did a leg workout. Well,
why did he even say that?
I
Come
don't.
on, bro.
And he's like, well, I don't want to make excuses, but I had a 40-pound. Well, then don't say it.
I will say this: it was slick.
It was neat.
It was a little cartoonish, but I like the whole
glowing red eyes.
I did. I don't know why. I fell for it.
I felt like it was. I'm
not mad at him for that.
What was the show that just ended on HBO? With the dragons, it felt Game of Thrones, Ice King-ish for me.
That's probably why I liked it.
That was one of my shows.
Yeah,
yeah. The Ice King it was a different version of Ice King. That's how I felt. But I can't, for the life of me, in all the fights I had, I wouldn't want to walk around with a 40-pound weight strapped to myself on the way to the heavyweight championship fight.
Yeah, maybe he put the 20 pounds on to carry the 40 pounds out,
and it worked out the way that Fury wanted. I wouldn't have done it. He looked sluggish to me.
Yeah, right from Jump Street.
Yes. His hands, he carried his hands awfully low.
He did.
His rear hand, I just noticed, I said, he's loading up. Everyone and their mother, you and I, he wanted to land the big right hand.
Yeah.
But he was carrying it down, chest level.
It was almost like he had it in a street fight kind of mentality.
Yes. And he wouldn't let his hands go. I had him... We watched the fight. You and I were discussing that day. We had the family over and stuff. But I had him... I thought he was hurt in the first round. Like, he was stumbling. His balance, to me, when his ear was bleeding, I thought he ruptured his eardrum, which would explain...
Yeah.
But I found out after that he had a laceration, which was 8 stitches, but he was really off balance.
Here's my question. I've never dealt with this before. He had a laceration in his ear. he's pulling up blood in his ear.
Right.
Could that throw off your equilibrium?
I would imagine. I've never had it, but it was draining out.
Yeah.
Because if you remember the picturesque scene of Fury licking the blood, it was coming out of his ear. To me, if you get punched in the ear or you rupture an eardrum, it'll affect your balance. Bleeding from a laceration, unless there's a tremendous amount of fluid in there, I just don't see it. He's never had good footwork to begin with.
No,
I mean, let's be honest.
He just stands. His feet are spread wide apart
Very wide.
because he takes that step in.
He wants that big right hand.
And that's why I called it. That was my main reason. I said, okay, if Fury's really true to his word and he's going to rush him, he's going to take that wide stance that he has and push it backwards. And he's going to have a hard time stepping into the jab, which then he unloads the right.
Yes.
If he squashes him, he's not going to be able to do that.
No, he'll smother the punch.
Yeah, and all his leverage is right in that right hand.
Yeah. But he was off balance. Like,
He was, dude.
he was off balance the whole fight.
I said 5th round, they should have stopped.
I mean, look at his right hand. Look how low.
Yeah.
And,
And Fury's footwork is unreal for being 6'9", dude.
He seems a lot more fluid. To me, right there, he was eating that one. Both of his hands were very low. Now, normally, atypically, if you're a power puncher from your dominant hand, at least in my experience, you try to sucker them in by leaving your lead hand down low, almost in a Philly shell, sucker them in, and then counter over top like that. So you want to bait them in, but both of his hands were low. And I believe it's at the end of this round, he starts looking very, very off balance. Now, the other thing that I've noted is in every one of Wilder's fights, with the exception of this fight, he always pushed his opponents back.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a fight going. This is the first time.
That's what I told
He
him.
had a fight going backwards.
Yeah, that's bad news,
And that's a
man.
big problem in the heavyweight division.
That's interesting because when I saw that happen in the first round, he was leaning back as he was being punched. I was like, dude, you're going to get crushed.
Well, that's what I said. I was sitting with a gentleman. I said, if he keeps going straight back, he's going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
You and I both know you go to the side
Yeah.
or the other side. But if you go straight back when
You're
someone's
done.
first, you're done. I mean, it's game over. And it happens. I mean, to me, he looked, after the first round, he looked like he was afraid. He was beaten.
He was beat.
But he was out of gas.
Well, that's 231. You know, I don't know, man. It's such a weird. It was one of the biggest events in recent history, but so weird from a physical standpoint, because they both had a different match than the first one.
Yeah, it was night and day. The contract was very stark.
Yeah.
But to me, Fury is clearly the better boxer.
Oh, good God.
Clearly.
And
I'm not a Fury fan. I like his story, but I'm not a fan of his. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, I really felt bad for Wilder.
So did I.
I felt sad. I was like, I knew, I had a feeling Fury was going to win, but I didn't know it was going to really go down like this.
No, that was
because it was a classic ball whipping.
When your corner throws the towel, there's a problem. I mean, it's not like, hey, I lost a majority decision.
Right.
Your corner stopped the fight. I actually think Bayless was getting ready to stop the fight anyway when he had him in the corner. But
yeah.
And see that
Look at
right
that.
there. Yeah, I mean the thing what he's done, and I've never seen him do before, is he was bringing his right hand and missing to the point where he was so off balance, his right foot would become the lead foot. It was technically it was just really crappy.
Off.
It was off.
Yeah.
Like the whole fight plan was off. As far as
I don't know. So what do you think? He wants to use the rematch clause.
Yeah, he's enacted the clause for 3 for the third one. I think he comes in lighter. But I think Fury wins again. I don't think. Listen,
how much boxing are you going to learn in the next before the next fight?
When you're beaten in the manner in which he was beaten, mentally, to me, that's tough to overcome. I just don't think that.
Your hero Rocky didn't think that.
Well, that was different. That was Rocky. Rocky is one of a kind.
He had Mickey. Mickey was lying on the table in the back room.
What did he say? Get up. I didn't hear no, but what was there? Get up, you dumb SOB. Something, because Mickey loves you.
That's
because Mickey loves you. No,
who was he fighting, Mr. T?
No, that's when he fought Tommy Morrison. Remember, it was like,
my
he was in the street. It was the worst Rocky of all time.
Yes, that was.
When Rocky loses all his money, And
Yes.
he goes in the street, and he's fighting Tommy Morrison.
Rocky.
I think, is Tommy Morrison, did he pass away?
Yeah. He finally did.
He had HIV.
Yeah, he battled for a while there.
You know, he was a decent heavyweight.
I thought he was a very good heavyweight. I think I think his talent was underutilized.
Well, you have to remember, that was the most recent golden era of heavyweights. You had David Tua, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis. You
Think
had
of that lineup,
a whole
dude.
lineup there. Now, if these guys were competing today, they would all, be a champion as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question I have for you. You know what's coming after 3. Let's just say, for conversation's sake, that Fury whips him again. It's going to be him and Joshua. Mm-hmm. I would say on a normal day that Anthony Joshua wins that, but after his most...
I don't think so.
It's going to be a tough gig, especially after the loss to Ruiz. It shows me that mentally, Joshua is kind of flighty.
Joshua's been knocked down quite a bit. So is Fury.
Yes.
I didn't know Fury's been knocked down as much as he
I think
has.
Klitschko floored him a couple times.
Joshua? Yeah.
No. Klitschko,
No.
Fury.
No. Fury put a clinic on Klitschko.
Did he?
Yeah.
But afterward, there's,
was a boring
there's
fight.
the first knockdown right there. And
That was just...
And they
you
said
know
with a
what?
slip, he's...
That knockdown showed me that Fury's power was way more than what we thought. I mean, I know Deontay lost a little bit of his balance there, but that was like in the street knockdown.
Yeah, he hit him with almost like the palm of his
Yeah.
hand on the side of his head.
Look at him just beat him. I mean...
Yeah, his legs are gone right there. When you fall like that,
Yeah, you're...
when you're leaning on someone to rest, your legs aren't gone. His legs are... Remember when Tyson knocked out Larry Holmes and his legs, and Trevor Berbick, and he couldn't walk?
Trevor Berbick gets up and slides.
And slides. He had those socks pulled up real high, and he looked like a robot. That's what happens to your legs.
Oh my goodness!
So I think after the next fight,
1, 2, boom. He took that distance.
he hit him right behind the ear.
Yeah.
Wait, here it comes.
Boom, boom. Right.
I was on top of that. Yeah, he fell. That was a clear knockdown.
Look at that leg go out underneath.
Yeah, it just went. It was done at that point.
Fury calls it, man. That's what made this fight even better.
I know.
He did exactly what he said. And you know what was crazy? I was watching his dad in a roundtable discussion.
Right.
With Paulie Malignaggi, David Hay.
David Hay.
And they were all talking about the fight. And Tyson Fury's dad sounded like he was selling us. I mean, like, there was no doubt. He goes, he's going to put a clinic on Fury. I mean, on Wilder. He can't box. He can't box.
He can't. And he was
and
right.
It was...
I thought for sure Fury's going to come in heavy, which he did, but it was a different kind of heavy than we thought.
Right.
And I thought, by the 5th or 6th round, because he's going to be heavy, that Fury was going to be tired, and Wilder, as he's done so many times, was going to sneak in that right hand.
Yep.
But the other thing is that we haven't mentioned is there were several occasions early on where Wilder did land the right hand.
But he rolled with it.
He rolled with it, but even when guys typically when they were rolling with his right hand, they'd still
get hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
it didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
So that tells me there's nothing on the shot.
Right. And that was early.
It was early on. I think it was the first or second round. He landed a few big ones. But at that point, Fury wasn't afraid, and Wilder couldn't keep him off. There was nothing he had in the arsenal that kept him off.
I was telling John earlier, I said, Tyson Fury got hit with 2 blows in the 12th round that would have buried people.
Anyone.
And he got up.
Yeah.
So
he was
took
out
the
of it
worst.
when he got out. He was out. And he was out of it did you see when he got from that fight when he got up? He was. If that fight would have gone, would you say that was the 12th?
That was the 12th round.
He went down in the 9th too.
Yeah. He got up pretty quick.
He got up quick.
Or he waited. He actually waited for the count and got up.
Yeah, he rested. But I think if the knockdown that happens in the 12th would have happened in the 9th, he
would have been called off.
He would have called, or he would have stopped in the next round. That's how bad that knockdown was. But
he came back and hurt Wilder after that.
Yeah, I don't think as severely as he did in this fight, though. There was something drastically different in this fight.
Yeah.
A, the weight. B, I hate saying this. Wilder was out of shape. I said it to you the other day when I was leaving. You looked at me when I came out of the gym. I started shaking my head. I said he was out of shape. I mean, he was shot after the first round. Now, let me ask you a question. Just not even boxing. Let's just say fitness. to me, as we mentioned before we went on, he's claiming the 40-pound costume felt like a leg workout before he got into the ring. Now, I don't know what kind of leg workouts you do that I've done, but how far do you think the walk is from the locker room to the ring, guys? What do you think?
I actually thought about that. You're bringing this point up.
Yes.
Okay, you're putting 40 pounds on your back.
Right. So
basically, and you're going to do like a farmer's walk with 40 pounds.
Right.
Okay.
How far though?
I have no idea, but I would imagine
it's
a pretty
Grand.
good. I would imagine it's a pretty good walk.
No. Look.
From his locker room out to the ring, going up 3 steps.
I just don't see it.
I'm trying to add everything to it.
I know. I mean, I just don't see it.
He walked really slow, too. I'm like, why would you walk slow if you got all that weight on?
If I was his trainer, remember when I told you the first time I was here, I had a trainer named Tony that used to slap me between rounds. What the hell are you doing? I would have slapped him and said, why are you putting 40 pounds on your body before the heavyweight championship fight?
They're yes men.
Trainers aren't yes men. Good trainers aren't yes men. Teddy Atlas, Custom Auto, these guys weren't yes men.
Breland, he's his trainer, right?
Yeah. He's the guy that threw the towel. He's been there forever.
He looked afraid to tell him why he threw the towel in.
Yeah, I can understand.
I would be screaming at my fighter, like, no, I'm saving your life.
Yeah.
They were. I don't care what you tell me right now.
I think they would have stopped.
You didn't do a damn thing in the ring. That's why I threw the towel in. I would have shouted back at him, fire me the next day, in which he did.
Yes, he did. But the fact of the matter is, I don't buy, from a fitness standpoint, that the ring walk and the costume cost him this fight. He was clearly out of shape.
No.
So my point and what I was trying to get at, from a fitness standpoint, you know what it takes to box. Mm-hmm. He was out of fight shape. He was not in fight shape entering.
It didn't look like it.
Costume or no costume. He was not in fight shape.
No. First of all, he didn't look confident.
He was afraid.
Yeah.
He looked afraid to me.
Yeah.
And I think, it wasn't you, but someone else at our gym told me during the weigh-in, and I didn't see it till after the fact. They got in a shoving match, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, Fury threw him a good few feet.
So I hear Wilder pushed him, and he didn't move. Then Fury pushed him, and he, flew.
Yeah, he did.
And
he flew a good 5-6 feet.
Yeah, someone else told me that when he hit him, he was like the magic man. He, flew.
What do they call that? Plywood or, some kind of real weak wood?
Yeah, plywood.
Yeah, plywood. He looked like that.
Really?
Fury looked like this great wall of China.
And I guess, he pushed Fury, and he just
Fury just moved back a little bit, and then...
Yeah, it was like throwing a,
Deontay flew.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Even with the extra 16, 17 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyson's a beast.
He's just a big guy.
And then he just leans on you and just destroys your will. After I beat you to death, I'm going to lean on you.
Well, that makes you, as you know, when you lean on someone in the ring, it makes you tired.
Oh, God, yeah. Especially when you're pushing your head down.
But look, see, right here, it's what? The 5th?
He's done.
He's done.
This is where I would have threw the towel in.
If I was the corner, I would say,
at the end of the round, I would have said done.
He looked like a defeated man. I believe the round before this, he's spent. Look at his hands.
Yeah.
Look how low his hands are. And Fury isn't breathing that heavy.
No, he could have gone out.
That was the greatest, though. When every time he tied, Fury would put him like a guillotine.
Yeah.
And squeeze. Yeah. And Bayless missed it.
Jeez.
See,
looks good.
Did you see that when he walked straight back, he got hit? Because eventually what happens is you run out of room to go straight back, and the guy's going to track you down because those shots are coming right down the middle.
Even Lennox said that in the fight. He goes,
that's amateurish, though. Yeah,
you don't sit on them ropes like that.
You don't go straight back.
No.
Ever.
And here's the other thing. Fury gets penalized a point. He could give a rat's rear end.
No, he could care less. Whatever.
This fight's going to be over.
He knew at this point he was going to knock him out.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to know as a fighter after 2 or 3, he has nothing that's keeping me off. I'm coming. I'm going to knock him out. And you see he's out of gas. He's clearly, I would have stopped it in between this round. And he's just throwing haymakers at this point.
He doesn't even know how to defend himself.
No. He can't keep his hands up to do it. So that furthers my point. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Even with 40 pounds, right, your legs are spent. You can't keep your hands up.
Right. No,
you're just out of shape.
He was done. Oh, that's the round where he body shot him. Right? There.
Oh, they took it off.
Yeah, that was wicked. When I saw him go down after that, I go, you are so done now.
I told guys, I said, he's going to get stopped.
Yeah.
Because he was hitting him with check hooks because both of his hands were so low, he could hit him with anything.
Yeah, this isn't even a fight anymore.
No.
I'm getting disgusted watching it again. Seriously, I mean, the
Did you
biggest
watch
fight
it
in
at
the
the
world.
restaurant we discussed, or did you pay
No,
for it?
no, I went home.
Yeah, I paid $80 for this too.
Yeah. Was it 80?
It
was 80.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, I'm not the most technologically savvy gentleman in the world, right? So I go to dinner, then I have my father-in-law coming over, who's not a real patient man to begin with. He's, an Italian guy from Queens that's older. I love him to death. And you had to stream it from the ESPN Plus app.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay? So we went out to dinner.
Oh, I
And
thought it was on Fox.
no, it was on ESPN Plus, and you had to stream it from your phone or a smart device.
I think, okay. they
Or a
had
smart TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I streamed it from my phone, but I had to sign up for the app.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They hit me for $5.99 for 1 month. Then you have to cancel the membership, the reoccurring membership.
Dude, why didn't you just buy it for the year?
And then because it was like $150. I mean, whatever it was outrageous. And so not only do I get hit for $6,
But you'd be able to see all the UFC fights then. The fight nights.
yeah,
They're free.
but they're not that important to me.
Okay.
I'm a box,
I got
I'm
you.
a
All right,
boxing.
all right.
I mean, I like UFC stuff,
Hey,
but
don't be a combat snob.
no, I'm not. I'm just an old grumpy man at this stage of my life. So I have to download the app. My father's going, what the hell's taking so long? And I came over here. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Fight's gonna be
This
over.
fight's going to be, you're going to miss it. Then he went into the story about when Tyson fought Spinks. And everyone, that was the first,
13 seconds.
it was like 13 seconds, but everyone spent $100 for the first time ever. He's like, I went to the bathroom and missed Tyson knocking him out. So anyway, I'm trying to stream this fight. I'm going, this is BS because I spent $5.99 on the app and then another $80 for this.
But you got a good fight
I don't think this was a good fight.
because your guy lost.
No, even without, I was impartial. I liked Wilder better. I think, truthfully, the heavyweight division is a sad state of affairs.
Come on, bro. Entertainment wise, it's not.
I disagree with you.
Come on.
It's boring to me. They're the worst fights to watch. Now, as when we were talking early on, like we mentioned, when you had Lennox and Tua and Holyfield
Yeah,
and
but
Riddick
you
Bowe,
can't use that as a reference point.
what set the bar?
Well, of course. We
And
can go
think
back
about
to Ali.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's say you had the Ali thing, right?
Foreman, Frazier.
All right, and then you ushered in,
Larry.
Holmes into.
Boring.
No, they were better. Tyson knocking him out was not boring. That was one of the.
No. Larry's reign as champion was very boring.
Yeah, I mean, he stood out and jabbed. There was little lulls, but we had Klitschko for how many years?
Oh, that's even
That
more
was the
boring.
worst.
Yeah.
That was the worst fights to watch ever.
I didn't even know who was champion.
I didn't care.
Who was.
Everything was in. Not that I dislike European fights, but everything was overseas. And it was just watching him jab 1-2. The last good heavyweight to go, in my opinion, was Lennox Lewis.
Was he after Holyfield?
He was before Klitschko.
Yeah, he was after Holyfield.
Yeah,
that's
because
right.
you remember, Lennox really put it on Mike Tyson pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
He stopped him.
Yeah.
And then I believe, I'm not sure, we'll have to look this up. I think he fought Holyfield.
Twice.
Lennox did?
Yeah.
He beat him both times?
No, it was a draw. I think it was a controversial draw, and then he beat him.
Now, the fights that were fun to watch for me was Riddick Bowe
Yes.
and
Holyfield.
Evander. They used to go. Those were my...
Three monsters.
Oh, was that the best?
That's why Holyfield is one of my favorite boxers.
Talk about a heart.
He gets hit, and then the fight's on.
It was like
Yeah.
it was like someone flipped a switch and it was just go time.
And then when you talk to him or when you see him being interviewed, he's like this nice guy. and-
Super articulate, in the god.
Yeah,
super. But there's a switch that went.
Yeah. And he always references his mom.
Yes.
Mama told me this. Mama told me that.
Yeah.
Mama told me to take that big boy out.
And remember, he fought George Foreman too.
Yeah. That was a clinic, too.
He put it on George pretty good.
He did.
Remember after George had to wear the glasses, the side of his face
Yeah.
was really swollen.
He took a lot of hits.
Yes.
But George landed a few himself, man, because I remember when Holyfield tripping over his own.
Yeah, George could hit. I mean, you got to remember how much he weighed then. He was really a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he had put on a lot of weight, but he still knew how to use leverage, and he would go in that big crossbody guard.
Yes.
And let him punch
How
himself
in
out.
the world, man?
That was Archie Moore. He was a trainer, famous fighter. Archie Moore utilized that
Yeah.
guard. I mean, he was the one who made it famous, those many years ago. Look, that's when they threw the towel. They're going to play the replay here.
See, I like when he comes back. Why'd you do that? He's pointing at his ear.
Yeah, I think at that point they thought he ruptured his eardrum because he was clearly off balance.
We looked it up when I was watching it, and what
That
causes bleeding from the ear? They said ruptured eardrum, a cut, or a fractured skull.
I would have leaned at this stage without knowing. I would have leaned towards the eardrum and the skull. Did you see what he did? Can we rewind that? Watch what he does with his jab hand before this a little bit. He baits his hand. Fury did this a lot. He feinted, but he didn't touch him. He feinted out to the side. Look, we'll rewind it. I'll show you what I mean. And it was pretty interesting to me.
No, a little bit more. Rewind it a little bit more. That's good.
If you'll see it here, he'll come back and he'll
look at how he just plants his hand on there.
Yeah, it's called a post up. They do that in Thai. Yeah. Anyway, what he was doing is Wilder was in the corner here. He's flicking to the side. And then so he could split the guard right down the middle. Yeah. That was pretty interesting to see. Now he's posting. That's called a post up.
When you're going to have a guard up like that, you're going to get drilled.
All day. Yeah, I would have stopped it too. I definitely would have stopped the fight. I mean, look at him. He's out of steam there. He can't even focus. Yeah, he's out. He can't focus.
You know what? He didn't quit.
No.
He didn't quit.
And I don't think he would have. He would have got knocked out.
Yeah.
He would have been unconscious.
I just didn't want to see anything bad happen to him.
No.
I really didn't.
I don't think he should take this fight.
I don't either.
Honestly, I think it should go from Fury to Joshua.
They were saying Ruiz, Wilder, Joshua, Fury.
Now, do you really...
I think Ruiz would beat Wilder.
No.
I think he'd get pounced. I think he'd get hit, but I think Ruiz would get up.
No, I don't think he gets up from that. I'm not... Listen, as we
He's
know...
got like 350 pounds of just monster fat on him.
Yeah, I know. Did you see after his first, when he won the bout, how much weight he lost? And then he put it all back on before the fight.
I didn't know he lost weight.
He lost a ton of weight. He had got really serious about training. And right before the fight, I guess he went berserk at like In-N-Out Burger or whatever and put it all back on.
What?
Yes.
What a knucklehead, man. I lost respect for him.
I did too.
I'm like, dude, you come to a champion. You're the champion. Represent.
Yeah,
like you want it.
Yes.
You didn't come this far to come this far.
And his hands were good. He's always had very good hands.
He's fast.
He's super fast for as big as a guy as he is. But, I mean, I want to be like, are you training?
Right. He was eating burritos.
I mean, he was really going hard.
Enchiladas.
It was In-N-Out Burger for sure.
In-N-Out Burger.
And those West Coast guys, we was saying in amateur fighting, Billy and I laugh about all the time at this point. By the way, shout out to Billy Lau having a kid. Congratulations.
Oh, yes. What was it? Daniel Richard.
Daniel, yeah. Beautiful son.
Yes.
God bless him. We always discuss, he fought amateur out of Ohio, me in Pennsylvania. And when you went to like St. Louis or like the West Coast to fight him, it's like a different world. Those guys, some of the younger pros in California, like Ruiz, they have, 30, 40 fights, or they're 19. They've had 20 fights in Mexico.
Yeah.
And these guys are tough.
Yeah, they're fighting them cab drivers that's trying to put food on the table.
Yeah, straight killers. And we knew to stay away. So Ruiz was a product of that, but he just didn't take his fitness aspect of it seriously.
I don't get it, man.
Me neither. He should have had a better trainer. I blame the trainer for that.
Why didn't he come in at the same weight? I mean, you were still big and large, but you produced.
He came in a lot heavier, I think.
Yeah. What did they say? He added 30 pounds?
30 pounds.
Yeah. 30? We're sitting here crying about...
That's double.
Yeah.
Essentially, what those guys added.
Fury added 17. Yeah.
But anyway, if Ruiz... I don't think I respect what he did. It takes a lot of guts to get in the ring. It takes even more...
Yeah, you cannot knock anybody for that.
You can't knock anyone. And I respect that. I respect the fight. I respect that he won the belts. But if he gets in there with Wilder... He's so much shorter.
You know what? That's a good point.
Deontay could even take a night off and stay on the outside, and eventually that's going to sneak through.
I'm thinking of Ruiz's speed, but I don't think you're right. Deontay's so much taller.
He's too long.
He's just got to keep that distance and wait for the two to come
it's coming sooner. He did it to Ortiz recently, but I think Deontay's done. I really do. I think it's going to go to Fury and Joshua, but in talking about golden eras of boxing right now, the lightweight division is really...
Yeah.
I mean, you have Gervonta Davis.
Yeah. Lomachenko.
Devin Haney.
Who's the guy that...
and Ryan Garcia.
Even, what's his name that just fought? Linares?
Linares is fighting Garcia. They're fighting.
Oh, they are?
They're fighting. Linares is fighting
the fight
Garcia.
coming up?
I believe. Yeah, I read it the other day that they've agreed to fight. Now, that's one I want to watch. Because if you remember, Linares knocked down Lomachenko.
Yeah, he did.
That was a good fight. Yeah. I like Linares. He fights a lot of time in Japan. He's sponsored by Venom.
Really?
The gloves you wear.
Sure.
But that whole cluster of fights is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then you can add.
Well, what about Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah, he's another one.
He's a little brash young gun.
Yeah, he's a killer.
They say he's fighting. He's got a fight coming up, and then the next one's Lomachenko. That's what his dad said. Oh,
I think everyone's, and my fight picks are pretty bad.
Comey? Is that his name? Comey?
Yeah, Richard Comey.
I think he's fighting Comey.
I don't know much about him.
Well, he didn't do too bad against Lomachenko.
Lomachenko has the ability with his footwork to make a lot of people look awkward.
Yeah.
However, I don't think Lomachenko gets past Lopez. A lot of people don't like that. I think Lopez stops him.
No, I disagree.
I'm telling you.
They're saying that about Davis fighting Lomachenko.
That's going to be a slick fun. I mean, see, these are the kind of discussions that we should be having about the heavyweight division.
Do.
No, but what heavyweights do we have? Ruiz, Wilder, and Fury. Name me anyone after that.
Who's the next guy? Usyk. He
got
came up from Cruiser,
Yes.
and he's fighting pretty darn well.
Did he lose recently?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but that's a stretch from Cruiser. That's 190. These guys
He could definitely give Fury some problems because he's tall too.
Is he as tall as?
He's tall. He's a tall dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we know how tall he is?
Can we look up Usyk?
Can we look?
Is it USYK or
Yeah,
something?
it's a different type of spelling.
And we're all on our phones.
Yeah.
Never mind the podcast.
Is it Alexander?
I think it's Alexander Usyk. Because they showed a picture of him, like a side by side with Fury.
I got it. It's Alexander with an O. He's 6'3", 216.
Yeah, that's
No, not happening.
He's a shorty.
Not happening. He's a cruiserweight.
Yeah,
The point is, the point. It's irrelevant. The fact is,
it's irrelevant. He shut me
the
down.
division is terrible.
I don't know. It's been better than in recent memory. The Klitschko's threw us under the grave.
Oh, that was like watching paint dry.
That's probably why I'm excited. The baseline is weak because we were dealing with the Klitschko's, which was right here. Talented fighters, that Russian style. They wouldn't lose.
No,
they're knocking people
They would
out.
one-two you to death.
Right.
But
That's what we're basing.
I have a fundamental. Wait, so like under that assumption, I have a fundamental question. What is so exciting about the heavyweights for you? Because before, early on, we had the athletes we have today. It was okay. There's the opportunity for a one-punch knockout. You can get it in any division now, right? So is it because you're a bigger guy?
No. I think it's the heavyweight is just you don't know who's going to win.
But you don't know who's going to win on any given night.
Well, I understand that,
So,
but
what I'm trying to get at is what is enticing about the heavyweights? Just because they're big men, or because it has the prestige? Oh, he's the heavyweight.
No,
he's the
you know what
biggest.
it is. You just made me think about this. I never really gave it much thought, other than I'm being entertained.
Right.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering if I'm being brainwashed into thinking it's better than what it really
Terrible.
is.
From my
You
standpoint,
know, the marketing is great.
of course.
The build-ups nowadays are
Yes.
great.
Yes.
You follow them around for 4 weeks.
yeah, that
and
HBO, the real when they go to their camp and
they
stuff.
get you charged up, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
I'm gonna
yeah,
cheer
he's-
for this guy.
He's going to beat him. It's going to be an upset.
I agree with you.
Maybe that's what's got me so intrigued because I'm
think
falling into
the
that.
skill level is subpar compared to the other divisions. And it has nothing to do with hand speed, just because you're a bigger guy. And I can attest, because I train with you, it doesn't matter how tall or how big you are. You can be technically sound and, fluid. Think about Ali was a big man. Lennox Lewis was a big man.
Yeah.
And those guys were very fluid, and they were really graceful with how big. They weren't lumbering big men.
Right.
You get the same amount of athletics to me, better athletes at the lower weight classes. It's
Oh, yeah,
more exciting.
without question.
So I don't find the division enticing to me. It's not. I don't.
I still do.
I hate watching heavyweight fights, or it's the worst.
I don't know, man. And what's the cliche? As the heavyweights go, so does boxing.
Yeah, I think that's changing though, because you have the Terrence Crawfords
Yeah.
of the world, and you have Earl Spence, and to me, the up and coming star class is that logjam at lightweight. I mean, Gervonta Davis just called out Devin Haney, I believe,
Ooh, yeah.
at the
Devin
at the weigh-in, and then who was it? The idiot, the one that acts
careful.
that acts really bad. He acts really bad, and he always gives the camera the finger. He's just a very bad man. Adrian Broner.
Yes,
He got
Broner.
arrested because of that confrontation. He was taken out in handcuffs. Now, anyone to me that every time he's on camera on pay-per-view is shooting up the middle finger and gets arrested at a press conference, you qualify as an idiot.
Well, Davis hangs out with him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that the Mayweather team?
Kind of.
I know Broner and Mayweather had their
They had their tiff, yeah. But I believe that Mayweather promotes Gervonta Davis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been, obviously they fight the same way, but those fights to me, from a fight standpoint, are going to be so exciting. I mean, styles make fights, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Lomachenko with the footwork, and you have Gervonta Davis, who is just so naturally gifted and fast.
Yeah.
And works the Mayweather, the shell, and the angles, and shoots shots from different angles that you're not
How
prepared
does
for.
Lomachenko match up with that?
I don't know. Because he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
Is Gervonta a southpaw? Are they both? I don't think he is.
I don't think so.
I think he's an orthodox fighter.
We should know this.
We should know this. I'm embarrassed right now. I'm going to tell you.
You know what? I'm a big Lomachenko fan.
Do you know who really doesn't like him is Billy?
Billy.
I think his footwork is unparalleled.
I mean, this guy, he's almost revolutionizing that weight class.
Yes.
With his style. I mean, you're going to see other people. I believe that, like the younger generation that's watching him now, you're going to see a lot of this. His training is crazy.
Did you see where he'll face a wall
With the lights?
with the lights and the numbers, and he has to press they'll say press 2,
Yep.
and the lights light up, and he has to. That's almost old Soviet Union Olympic style training. That's where the lineage of his father was the Olympic team for the USSR, which did plyometrics, and they were very cutting edge.
They were ahead of us.
They were ahead of us at that stage of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have used anabolic steroids a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? So did the US.
He is a southpaw.
He is?
He is a
interesting.
southpaw. Gervonta Davis is a southpaw.
So who's going to have more difficulty?
That's an even fight to me. Gervonta and Lomachenko. Billy's going to say that Gervonta would stop him, but I think, I think
Pavlik is a Lomachenko fan too.
Yeah, they argue all the time about it.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
and I'm a Lomachenko fan. I am.
So am I. Until I see someone decisively give him problems, there's no blueprint on that guy.
No, Mayweather would have beat him by decision. That would have been the fight.
Man, why can't we have seen that?
That's the one I would have wanted to see.
Why couldn't we have seen that?
Gervonta Davis and him will be if that happens, will be the closest fight to that we can get. But you have the one that's really up and coming to me is Ryan Garcia. Have you seen him fight?
Yeah, I don't know if I buy him yet.
A lot of people.
Dude, do you see his head?
The next one. When he fights Linares, that'll be the litmus test for me.
Yes, that will, because he keeps that head up like
chin up. Yeah, that's a big blueprint. Oscar De La Hoya, that's his boy. He better get that fixed.
I'm like, man, somebody's gonna clean that clock one time. And all it's gonna take is someone with a little bit of juice in that.
But recently, I mean, he's so fast. Like his quick twitch, you can't hit him.
Well, that left hook in his last fight.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I thought I saw it.
No,
it was done.
The guy he was fighting didn't see it.
I'm like, he looks like a 12-year-old assassin.
He does. One of my clients, we were talking off the air earlier that we have personal clients. I have a client that is into boxing. She's a 25-year-old, very attractive girl. That's like her celebrity crush.
Oh yeah.
Every
all
girl in the
girls love Ryan Garcia,
and that's how Oscar De La Hoya was back in the day.
I was just going to say that. De La Hoya carried the mantle then.
Yes,
he's probably giving us some really good advice.
I would imagine. But the other ones you have. Who else did we decide? Did we have in the lightweight? Linares isn't, but
Teofimo,
Lopez, Lomachenko. So here's the question: who comes out of that logjam as king?
Well, Lomachenko.
You think?
Yeah.
You think he beats them all?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to fight them all, though.
See, that's a shame to me.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's not going to happen.
Do you think that's for just like political BS within the promotions
I think
companies?
it would just take too long for it all to happen. What do they fight? Twice a year, if that?
Yeah. 2 or 3 times, especially the big
So if you
fights.
have 6 fighters up at the top, that's another 3 years if they get negotiations done right away.
Right.
So you could say 4.5 years. No, Lomachenko's gone.
I would be.
Yeah, Lomachenko will be gone in 2 years.
But I mean, they said the same thing about Pacquiao, and he's still fighting. Does he have one coming up?
Yeah, I think he's fighting McGregor. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's going to happen. I said that. I heard.
I know,
that's
I heard
going to
the
happen.
same
It's going to
thing.
happen. And Mayweather just recently said he would come out of retirement to fight him again.
McGregor?
No, Mayweather. Yeah, Mayweather just said recently, I think 2 days ago, that he would come out of retirement to fight McGregor again.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You're McGregor. You got Pacquiao and Mayweather. Who do you pick?
Well, to me, if it's in boxing, I'd be remiss to say that if I'm McGregor, I don't think McGregor can win either one of the fights.
No. I'm talking
to
money.
me, it's the biggest payday. Mayweather's going to command the bigger payday.
Yeah.
I would rather see him fight Pacquiao because we all know how Mayweather McGregor ends. He's going to stop him again.
Yeah.
Regardless of how old he is.
And you don't think Pacquiao will stop him?
Yeah, I do. I think Pacquiao stops him faster.
Yeah.
Because Pacquiao can fight out of either lead. He'll switch. You remember that move I was showing you in the gym?
Yes. Yeah.
Pacquiao does that regularly.
Yeah.
He'll punch and then switch leads and punch and switch leads. And he's really tough to defend because he really hits from some really
Awkward
martial art type angles that you and I are used to seeing.
He's coming up.
Angle over the top of the punch. And it's funny that we said that because I was talking to a guy. If you saw one of the things that Tyson Fury was doing in the recent fight, there's a move that's in Salat. It's called there's Pak Sao and Ton Sao, and one of the movements is if you're facing your opponent, you trap their lead hand and hit over top.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, look at that move he's doing. I'm thinking,
I was just telling him that when we were watching the fight. Look what he's doing. He's patting that down.
Yeah, it's called Ton Sao and Pak Sao.
That's the name.
Yeah, those are the movements, and it's trapping. It would be, you trap their hands so they can't move because their rear hand's in the back, so they can't hit you at this point. And he would come over top, and I'm going, that's the stuff that Pacquiao does though, because he's Filipino, so they have Eskrama and Kali over there, and a lot of those guys, the way they're trained is they won't target your face or your body for the first round. They'll target your wrist and your elbows and your hips.
Yeah, or your shoulders.
Or your shoulder, here on the shoulder. So at that point, you can't hold your hands up, and then you get knocked out. So I believe, whether he wants to admit it or not, I think Manny Pacquiao utilizes all those techniques all the time.
Yeah.
So, but
Pacquiao McGregor. Just don't know if I'm going to see that.
I don't think I would pay to see it.
I like both of them. I like Pacquiao so much.
Well, let me ask you, why do you like McGregor?
Because he's a warrior. He fights anybody and everybody. That's why. I don't like him.
Cut and dry. That's the only reason?
That's the reason. Mayweather, I didn't like him for the longest reason because it was just dodging and cherry picking and
He dodged Pacquiao for a long time.
He did, and I don't know if it's for the right reasons or what.
It was the anti-doping HGH thing.
Dude, if you can beat him, just beat him. Mm-hmm. I don't care. If somebody asked me to fight a guy that was on anabolics, I'd say, all right, let's go. I seen what he does already.
As you and I both know, strength doesn't determine the outcome of a fight.
Right. I mean, it has a little bit to do with it, but if I seen this guy fight for years and I say I can beat him and he's been doing drugs, well, what does it matter if he takes a blood test or not? You're telling me you can beat him.
I agree.
Just fight him.
We are on the same page about that.
Just fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I love McGregor for that reason.
Because he won't duck or dodge anybody?
No.
I agree.
You want to fight Nate at 170? Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
You want to fight Donald at 170? Yeah, no problem. I don't want him to cut too much weight.
Yeah. I respect that.
He'll fight anybody in that. You want me to fight, what's his name, Mendez, just to save the card? Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
My career's at stake because I trained for a different fighter. But I'll take Mendez, who's a world-class
fighter,
wrestler.
Yeah, he could go.
Connor's weak point, if there is a weak point, is his wrestling.
Absolutely.
And he's taken on a guy who would maul him.
On the ground. He would just drag.
And he took him to the ground twice, or if not 3 times. Didn't take too much damage. Got up, fought. And here's the other thing I like about Connor. He talks mad stuff. He backs it up. Mm-hmm. And when he loses, and I think we mentioned this before, when he loses, he gives props.
Yes.
He's not a little baby and making excuses.
He doesn't make excuses like a 40-pound costume.
I got beat. I'm going to learn. This is how the fight game goes. I'm going to come back better, and I will avenge my loss. He's avenged every one of his losses.
Well, Khabib.
That's the only one that's left.
And Khabib won't fight him.
They will. That's money, brother. In Russia?
I agree, but
if Connor went to Russia?
Oh, there'd be a riot.
Oh, my God. He would have to have...
I don't think it happens.
Oh, God, I pray it does.
I mean, maybe now after what he did with the
beats
Cowboy.
him. I think Connor beats him in the second fight. You heard it live.
Oh,
The Matrix Hour podcast.
boy, you were throwing darts today.
Yes, I do. I really think Connor beats him.
By submission or knockout?
No, it would be punches. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
You just got done saying that Connor's weak point
Is wrestling.
and he got submitted by
But
Khabib.
he actually has good defense.
His ground defense is good. Absolutely.
Yeah,
His jiu defense is good. I agree with you.
I mean, Khabib could have destroyed him in previous rounds, and he couldn't. Connor ran out of gas. Again. That was his weak point. Again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nate Diaz ran out of gas and got submitted. Khabib ran out of gas and got submitted. Dude, when did he fight Khabib? After the Mayweather fight?
Yes.
He hadn't fought in the UFC in 2 years.
No, he was boxing training. He's boxing
And he
training.
lasted 4 rounds
Is
with
this-
a killer.
Was that before or after the bus incident?
Oh, after, because he threw the bus.
The chair. It was a chair or something?
Yeah, he threw, not through the bus. He threw the...
Chair in the bus. He got on their
yes.
bus.
Yeah, he threw like some kind of
Like a
chair
desk or something. Yeah, I saw it was some craziness. No.
That was at Khabib. He was
What was it?
Like a hand cart.
Yeah, it was a hand
Yeah.
cart. It was something.
like a dolly or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something primal.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
That was lead up to the Khabib fight.
Yes, there was a lot of bad blood there. The fight that ensued afterward was just. I watched that live.
Yeah, that was pandemonium.
That was crazy.
People like that though.
I see. That's why people tune in the UFC. But I don't think back to what I keep trying to harp, which you failed to admit. I don't think this fire is stoked in the heavyweight division of boxing.
Well, it's not as good as the lightweights.
It's not as good.
I know that.
You heard it
No,
here.
don't.
It's not
don't
as good
step
as
out.
any class of
how
boxing.
How dare you?
It's the worst class in boxing.
How dare you?
Hands down.
How dare you?
Prove me.
Name me a fighter from the strawweight.
Nonito Donaire.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He was a beast.
Tough guy. He was one of
Who did he just
he was a
lose to?
Pacquiao disciple.
Yeah.
I don't know who he lost to. But
And it
he
was a good fight.
It was a good fight. He's getting up there in age though.
Yeah.
He's been doing it a long time. But I am.
All right, bantamweight.
You got me there.
Yeah, you I don't know one.
No, I mean,
If you would have named the name, I would have said, "All right,
yeah,
good,
I
good
should
job."
have. I thought about doing it, but for legitimacy reasons, I just kept my mouth
Yeah,
shut.
there would have been a fact check going on.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
podcast.
He's
Hey,
lying.
they don't know what they're talking about.
No.
Bunch of hacks.
But there's another guy, another Russian in the cruiserweight. Outside of the other guy we just named that jumped to heavyweight, there's another guy that Teddy Atlas trained that just lost recently. There's some real tough Russians in the super middle cruiser light heavy division. They just went recently. Teddy Atlas was training the guy. I want to say it was Usyk.
Oh, that's the guy we were just talking about.
Yeah, there's another guy with a name close to that.
Pulov, not Pulov.
But these guys are tough.
Yeah, the Russian fighters are.
Very tough. Did you see, speaking of Russian fighters,
I was just going to bring it up.
he got arrested. Kovalev?
Kovalev, did he? He got arrested?
He got arrested recently.
That's the one I was going to bring up. What did it was?
You want to talk about
Yeah, it was DUI.
DUI. But he really declined.
Yeah, he did. Andre Ward just.
He did. I'm going to go on record here and say that he did beat Andre Ward in the first fight, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think of that fight, how it went.
Do you remember when they showed Andre Ward after the first fight? He couldn't believe that he got the decision. He goes, he went like
I can't
this.
remember that fight.
He went, I won. I mean, he had knocked Andre Ward down. I think.
That's right. Early. He
Yes.
knocked him down early.
So they're reading the cards, and,
Yes.
and Andre Ward was like, it was a facial expression of sheer surprise that he thought he won the fight. Now in the second fight, Ward clearly had him beat him up pretty
he stopped him, didn't he? In the second fight.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though, but
It was body blows. He was
Yeah.
just smacking him to the body, and that's where Canelo learned.
yes,
You know,
But-
or no, it was another fight after that Kovalev had. It was with some black dude. He was a pretty muscle bound dude.
yeah, he beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, but he was hurting Kovalev.
Yeah, he was.
the body.
He got soft towards the end there. I think is Kovalev still fighting or is he done?
He should be done.
But early on, he was a nightmare.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
And he was he would walk through anything.
Canelo picked him at the right time.
Yes. What do you think of Canelo?
I think he's a great fighter. Dude, that guy, his defense has gotten so much better.
Yes.
So much better. He's not taking the same blows as he was early on.
No.
And you know what? The knock I have with him, and this is just by a visual, is he gasses
Fast.
like in the eighth,
He's,
seventh or eighth
he's
round.
carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like, dude, are you serious? You're gassing already?
He bulked up a lot.
Well, to get up to Kovalev's division, yeah.
Even before that, I think he looks heavy to me up top. He looks like he's very heavy.
Yeah, maybe it's on them supplements.
That's where I was headed with that.
I was just gonna say too. Like, well,
Yeah.
the reason why he looks fat.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he get popped for it once?
I think
thought
twice. I thought it was twice.
Yeah, it was the Mexican meat or something, the beef.
He was
or-
he's I was eating this. My trainer was making the steak, and it had injected. I'm thinking, you and I were discussing off the air that we prep meals and cook for people and whatnot. And I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever gone to the meat section and say, hey, this one has anabolic steroids in it, so I better not buy it for my fighter.
Yeah, that's what everybody uses. I took a supplement, didn't know what was in it. Yeah. You know, there's always going to be an excuse for all that. Listen, if you're a fighter and you're in multi-million-dollar fights, you know what is going to go.
Absolutely.
I'm questioning everything that touches my body.
Absolutely.
So-
And you not only that, you have someone on your staff that makes sure that you're in compliance
Right.
with the Nevada State Athletic Commission or with the WBC or whatever it is, that anything you're putting in your body is going to show up on that P test or
Right.
that blood test after the fact.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking, I think the last one, I forget, it could have been Chavez Jr.'s kid, failed something, and it cost him like $500,000. I know he missed weight. It cost him $1 million recently, but he's always been the space case. But one of those guys recently, they failed an anti-doping test after the fight. And I believe the fine was 6 figures. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't care how many millions I'm making. If I'm training for a multi-million-dollar fight, I'm going to be damn certain that whatever I'm ingesting.
Yeah, maybe this shows my character in not so good of a light. But if someone was if I was gonna make 20, 30 mil,
Right?
and they were gonna dock me 6 figures, which, all right, let's just use the worst case scenario, $999,000. That's $1 million.
So
I'm making 30 mil.
So you're making 29. So you're going to make 28 million after the fine.
Yeah. I'm making 28 million. I know I'm going to perform better. I'm going to be stronger. My recovery's better.
Yeah, but who fights you after you fail the test? You think they're going to line up for another big fight?
Look at John Jones.
You always have a counter for what I have to say.
No, you know what it is?
It's like arguing with my wife.
Stop it.
Yeah, why did you take the trash out last week? Did you do it yesterday? Did you? You don't answer questions with questions. That's
Right.
the kind of stuff I feel like I'm talking about.
That's what I do.
I know. I
do that.
experienced it firsthand.
Yes. Don't do that. Dude, do you like whiskey?
No.
Okay.
I do. Is that Fireball?
No, it's I met this guy in Mercado at the Rocky Patel Burn cigar place.
Sure.
And he was handing out samples.
Let me see this.
And I took a taste. And it was really good.
I'm a Scotch guy.
Devil's River. I was like, why do you call it Devil's River?
It's in Texas.
Yes.
Small batch Texas rye whiskey. So is this like bourbon? Would this be like Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm going to pass.
Texas bourbon whiskey.
Are you a drinker?
No, not at all.
Was there a time?
I owned a bar.
So you drank then, or you just owned the bar?
Oh, I drank.
You drank hard.
Yeah.
I want to get into some of those stories.
Oh, those are dark stories, bro.
I want to get into those stories.
Those are really dark. We're not going down that road with the public.
Was that? No, I really want to push the issue.
That's like, get me a cross right now.
Okay. We're gonna go to the confession. It's Ash Wednesday. We're gonna go to the confessional afterward.
Yeah. Forgive me,
So-
Father.
You're not a drinker?
No. Yeah.
No. So they
I might have a glass of wine.
yeah, I'll drink.
Maybe a half a glass of wine. My wife will stop me right there and say he won't drink a full glass.
Is that because of what she wants, or that's what you want?
What?
Drink a half a glass of
I
wine.
usually drink a half a glass for her.
So you do it for her.
Yeah, because she'll have a glass.
You
of
don't
wine.
want her drinking alone. I understand. Right. I get all that. No,
But
we're not drinkers.
yeah.
My girl, obviously, she's in very good shape.
Yeah.
She's a fighter too. We don't. It's just empty calories.
You know, I wonder why I cannot get my abs to be like really popping out.
All right.
I really believe it's my creamer.
What is it flavored?
course.
You don't just use plain milk.
No.
So I have to ask, what flavor are we having?
I use coconut cream.
Hey, there's a new one I saw
Italian
today.
sweet cream.
That's one of my favorites.
Dude, that's good, man.
There's one, I don't know how, I'm partial to like, my weakness is cereal at nighttime with almond milk.
Dude, that's good, man. You can throw that in there.
I do occasionally, but they have a cinnamon toast crunch creamer now. Okay, I could probably just put a straw in that and drink that solo.
Dude, you know what you got to look up? Do you endorse a supplement?
I do not.
Check out right behind you. It's called First Form. They have a protein powder. Yeah, well, it's not that exactly, but the protein powder, it's called Level 1. They have a cinnamon toast crunch.
Really?
Dude, it is good.
You're going to have to send me the link to that
Oh,
one. I will
my
wear a shirt with
God,
that
bro.
proudly.
Dude,
This thing, First Form.
Yes, that's my number one. So I love their company.
You were wearing a shirt our last podcast.
Possibly, yeah. Legion of Boom?
Legion of Boom.
Yeah, that's them.
I was going to ask, because I looked it up after we had spoken.
Yeah.
So they're connected.
Oh, yeah, that's them.
So this is who you endorse for your clients
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get it in stores or do you have to order it?
No, you have to order it. They don't do any advertising.
Oh, I'm going to have to check it out.
They're huge. I think they're out of St. Louis, Missouri.
A lot of good fighters out of there. But I'm going to check it out now.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link.
The link I can give you will give you free shipping too. So,
As we supplement. So let me ask you, how many grams of protein a day do you intake?
I don't even know. I have my own coach.
Oh, you have a coach? Mm-hmm. You don't track yourself?
Here's my coach. Underrated Muscle. My brother Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got all that. I don't even look at it. I just eat.
Is he here?
No,
Or
he's
it's
out
online?
of Milwaukee.
Okay.
He will be on the podcast.
Okay.
You will be on the podcast. I'm looking at the camera.
I was like, who's here?
No, he will be on the podcast. You look him up on Instagram. What he does is, I know he works with anybody, but he primarily focuses on, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, he takes amateur bodybuilders and turns them into pros.
Okay.
And he was team of the year the last 2 years. He's doing phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal.
One of my dearest friends, I shouldn't say dearest friend, a guy that I trained with, I was very good friends with.
He just digressed on that.
Well, I was
so
thinking-
whoever you're going to mention, it sounded really good, and then you go, nah, he's not really my dearest friend.
He's not like my best friend. He wasn't. But when I lived in Pittsburgh, him and I trained together. He was part of my team. He was a strength and conditioning coach for me. And we hung out a few times. He's an older guy, but he's the head of the NPC in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name's Gary Udit.
I wonder if Dave knows him.
Famous guy.
Gary Udit.
Udit. UDIT.
Udit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Posing coach. Probably the most knowledgeable human being I have ever met regarding nutrition and exercise.
Wow.
So I'm giving a shout out to Gary, but the way you're mentioning this guy,
You would like this guy.
He takes amateur bodybuilders that pose and then pros and he teaches the professionals how
Yeah.
to pose.
Yep.
And then he goes to Arnold and all that stuff.
Yep.
But those guys like that really, really know the ins and outs of the chemistry.
They
It's
do,
way above my pay grade.
They do. That's why I go, Dave, here.
So how long have you been working with him?
Let's see. We went on a program, I want to say August. And I was up at about 236. And he's been slowly taking the weight off of me.
Is it exercise driven or is it nutritional?
Nutrition.
It's all nutrition?
Well, I'm training. I mean, I'm doing my lifting and get my cardio through boxing. But if I'm not doing boxing, I'm on the treadmill. Doing a little bit. Yeah, I can't stand that.
I was going to say, I can't.
No, give me a gun.
Yeah, please. I'll shoot myself in the foot.
I'm either going to shoot myself or somebody.
Yeah. The rowing, one of my dearest friends there rowed for the national team. And
I can't do that.
I tried.
I'm a wimp.
Well, it's not just that a wimp. I just, after like 10 minutes, my lower back's hurting. I'm probably not doing it right. But I'm not breathing right. I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. I'm not doing this for an hour. You got to do this stuff for an hour. There's no way.
Dude, you're not going to catch me on a row.
No, I'm just give me something to punch or kick.
I think there's a little bit of insanity in that movement.
He's certifiable, and he's an attorney, by the way.
I mean, dude, this is what you're doing.
Yeah,
Dude, forget it.
No,
I don't even see any sense in running.
I hate it.
Yeah, so
And I
just weightlifting, nutrition, and my cardio. And I've been extremely pleased.
And the thing for me, the one thing going back to the client thing is they'll say, well, how much do you lift? I don't lift. I do boxing, functional body weight exercises, medicine balls.
Well, you still got weight resistance, though, if you're doing
Well,
body
yeah, but
weight.
I'm not doing lifting
The
in the
classic
sense
lifting.
that I'm not benching, I'm
Right.
not squatting, I'm not deadlifting.
Yeah.
I'm not repping out the programs that my clients want me, and I can do that when I train them, but they want to lift because
Right.
they think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And we have to concede to some of that. But I don't lift in a traditional sense in terms of a weight room.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Well, to each his own.
Yeah.
I mean, it is getting a little rough nowadays.
What do you mean?
Getting to a certain age and you're lifting, your joints are always aching, and injury after injury, and I never strained a pec, my bicep, my hammy. I mean, I'm constantly killing something. My knees are shot.
I saw you. I saw you. I think it was a week ago. You were on a aqua bag and you pulled a hammy.
Oh yeah. It was hurting at that time.
I was
Yeah.
wrapping my hands. I'm going, oh, he's done.
It was already hurt.
You're
Yeah.
reaching back and you're going, and I'm thinking, oh, he pulled it. There's no way.
Yeah.
He's done. You're trying to throw a straight left hand or right.
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. I went back to orthodox now.
Why? Why did we? Why are we?
Because
switching?
he's like the trainer that's going, what do you want? What do you really want?
I don't understand what he's trying to.
No,
one day he's southpaw, one day he's not.
No, I had an injury. So I went to orthodox. I mean, I went to southpaw.
Because when I first met you, you were a southpaw.
Right. I had the injury before that.
So the injury prompted this. So your dominant hand is your right hand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm back. My left shoulder can now throw a hook.
So
I couldn't throw a hook.
It was a shoulder injury.
I could throw the cross left hand, but the minute I went,
Was it your rotator
and I thought it was.
or your AC
But
joint?
it's good. I mean, I'm feeling good. So now I'm back to orthodox, and Billy was happy with what I was showing him. So,
Really?
Yeah. Maybe he was just trying to make me feel good. I don't know.
I would have felt bad.
All right. I still suck.
No.
No, so I was back to orthodox. I felt better though. I felt better. So being in,
Well, how long did you train southpaw?
almost from the inception of being at Billy's.
How long have you been there? I've known you for
I think a
6
couple
months.
weeks.
That's an idiot. I've known him for 6 months.
It was about that time because
When
I
I
saw
first
you.
met
Yeah, I saw you soon after I joined.
Yeah, I think it was in the daytime. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he's a southpaw. So you were injured at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. So if you're fighting,
I'd switch
In the
both back and forth.
Terrence Crawford it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
But that's more of the tie background.
that's more fun.
It's more effective.
Yeah.
Because if you have 3 rounds of a guy trying to time your left hook from a lead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
you
fun
can
because
coach
you
them.
know you're going. Because if a guy was doing that to me, I'd be like, "Come on, man! What the heck? What are we dealing with here?"
You just get frustrated.
Yeah,
And then they make mistakes.
yeah. But boxing, I love it. I love it.
It's my favorite.
It's. I wish I would have done it when I was young.
Why didn't you?
I wish. I don't know. It was more into martial arts.
What
More
but
karate.
we talked about this, but we never got into the specifics of what form.
It was karate. It was.
Tang Sudo, Taekwondo, was it
Well, it's taekwondo too.
Or
I mean,
Okinawan-
karate is different than taekwondo.
Okinawan Kempo?
There you go.
You were Okinawan
Yeah,
Kempo?
no, not Okinawan. It was a weird name. I forgot what my instructor. He always said it. It was really weird. I couldn't pronounce it.
But it was Kempo.
No, it wasn't Kempo. It was karate.
See, I'm going to plead ignorance. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot about martial arts, but in terms of karate, Tang Sudo,
Karate's good, but it's not.
and
I don't know. I keep,
other forms, I don't know the names.
Jiu-jitsu is the best, I think.
On the ground, yeah.
Period.
Really? There's Japanese
Yes.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And you understand, you probably do, obviously, where Brazilian was spawned from Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because I believe the great
Haleo.
went to
Yeah.
Japan
Yep.
and then brought it back and then made his own
Yep.
because he was so small.
Yep.
That's how
135 pounds.
135 pounds. That's correct.
Yeah.
And he formed what he learned in Japan and created what many consider the ultimate Brazilian.
Yeah. And then Hickson turned into a beast.
Hoist was pretty tough too.
Yeah.
They
They
said-
all were.
They were all, yeah. Even the brothers out in there's there's like grandkids now, but the guys out in LA they run the Gracie School out there. They're tough.
Well, I thought that's where Hickson
That's
took
Hickson's.
it.
That's Hickson's kid.
Who, Crone?
One of the boys out there.
Crone.
Is it Crone?
Yeah.
See, I'm not.
He just fought in the UFC.
Did he win?
No.
He lost.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of which, did the big guy that died with the beard? He was a big puncher, black guy.
Kimbo.
His kid is he in the UFC
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Is he?
Well, I think he's in Bellator.
Is he doing well?
I thought I saw him lose just recently, but he hadn't lost before that.
He won his first fight ever.
He knocked the guy out. I saw that.
Yeah, I was happy for him.
Yeah,
He's following a legacy that,
it was really tough.
yeah,
I mean, his dad was. He was a legendary street guy.
yeah. I mean, that's where Jorge Masvidal came from too. He was the same way with
Same thing.
Kimbo era.
See, I don't know who that is.
Jorge?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's a bad dude. Right now, he's the what do they call it? The BMF champion in the UFC.
What's bad?
Baddest mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's that
beat,
tough?
He beat Nate Diaz.
Bad?
Pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, they stopped him in third.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This was recent, wasn't it? All right, I remember the face now because I saw it. When
Yeah, I didn't think they should have stopped it though. Even though he was pummeling him, I thought Nate's rounds are the fourth and fifth.
You think Nate would have made it out of the round if they didn't stop it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at this one up now
Yeah.
when I leave.
Yeah, Nate's a dog. He's a dog, man. I mean, he'll fight until he dies.
Yeah, that's how most of us are. I used to have a saying: "I will not stop."
I'm not that way. I ain't going out on my shield. I got 3 kids.
I'm stopping until I'm not stopping until I retired since, but I won't. I wasn't. My mindset was I'm not going to stop unless I'm sleeping. So you have to knock me out, or someone
Yeah,
has to stop it. But I'm not.
No, I
I'm
get
not going to
that.
go.
I
Yeah.
get that, but
I'm not going to die.
no.
I mean, boxing was different. We didn't get choked and stuff.
That's why I like jujitsu, man. It's just I can't do it anymore. So you got karate, jujitsu, boxing, and jujitsu would be number 1 for me as far as effective boxing.
In the street,
Yeah.
yes, hands down.
But you know, the hard part is, you know, we were always taught in karate that you're gonna come across somebody who's bigger, stronger, faster, and has more friends.
Always.
And if you know jujitsu, sure, you can choke somebody out.
Yeah, but if their friend's standing over top of you, kicking you in the head while you're choking them, it's not going to make
Exactly.
much of a difference.
Exactly. You start off standing, you usually end up on the ground,
I think
which is why I like jujitsu.
80 or 90%.
Yeah.
But you know, the interesting thing about that whole theory is the UFC went from primarily being a ground game, fight, which made things really boring for people that didn't understand,
Right.
to now it's mostly strikes.
Yeah.
If you think about
It is. It is. It has gravitated back to that.
Do you think that's true in the street these days?
What? It's striking? Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because most people don't know any better.
They don't know how to fight. And they gas out in 20 seconds.
I'll tell you when we're off the air. I saw one recently.
No, tell us while we're on the air.
I was on the other coast recently for a double date. Doesn't matter. It was my wife and some friends. Anyway, there was a fight outside of we were in the Tampa area. There was a fight outside of it was a restaurant, right? And these guys were big, your size, but clearly on some off aftermarket supplements. Okay. It had to be the worst, most ineffective
Oh, yeah.
kind of punching. I'm going, are you kidding me? You know, and neither one of them was able to connect. And after 20 seconds,
Yeah,
they were spent.
Yeah. That adrenaline, boom.
They were spent.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're taught in fighting to relax.
You have to. That's the toughest thing to
Yeah.
do. I mean, what people don't understand is when you fight, when you're really fighting, your adrenal gland releases, and that will tire you out faster than anything. Is your adrenaline? You have to learn to. That's why they say, relax, take a deep breath, because you have to control the adrenaline, or it will zap you.
It sure will.
But it's tough when bullets are flying.
Yeah.
To, not blink, and that was
Yeah,
the biggest thing.
yeah.
Is. To
But
get
when
it
you're
right.
when you don't train for it either, it's worse.
you
Yeah,
wig out.
you're like,
You
I
hold
don't
your-
care how tough you are.
You hold your breath.
Yeah.
You don't care how much you lift,
Right.
or how tough you are. But if you hold your breath, you stiffen up.
Yep.
You're done in less than a minute.
Yep.
I mean, you're physically shot.
I remember telling one of my students in karate, we were boxing. This was one of them times where I told you we futzed around boxing.
Yeah.
And he was he had been taking kickboxing for a while. I wouldn't say that long, maybe 6 months. And he wanted to spar. And I was like, all right, let's just start off boxing. We're just going to throw some punches. And here's why. Well, you want to see things coming your way. You want to learn how to see a punch coming your way. And I said, here's the other thing. You're going to get tired really fast. I'm just telling you, you're going to get super tired because I'm going to throw jabs at you. And if you're not used to this, you're going to freak out. So he's about a foot shorter than me already.
Sure.
So my arm is clearly spacing him out.
Yeah.
And it took no longer than 30 seconds.
Cooked.
He fell to the floor.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I landed when he fell. I think I landed on some jabs, but they weren't hard. I was being nice.
Yeah.
We were going about 50, and 30 seconds, he was tired. He went down because he was tired. And I was like, wow, that was prophecy, like in an instant, man.
He understood right away.
Yeah, it is. Now you get in the ring and you fight, or a cage or whatever. I don't care what anybody says. I've heard people say this, they're not nervous. I don't know how you're not
There
nervous.
was never a fight that I was ever in that I wasn't nervous.
I mean,
Ever.
you have to be. I was never in a professional fight or nothing. Sparring, I would get nervous.
Yeah. Listen, it's human nature, fight or flight.
Right.
Right? Even the most seasoned veterans, when they get in there, have that butterfly. And, fear, and this comes from Rocky Balboa,
Uh-oh.
I might add. Fear, and this is very valid. It had to come from a fighter, Adrian. Fear is what keeps your hands up.
Yeah.
Fear is what makes you move your head.
Yep.
Fear is what makes you strike the other guy. Without fear, you're not going to be a good fighter. So anyone that says they're not afraid is lying.
Yeah, and with fear, you got to have butterflies. You got to have some of that nervousness going on. John, are we at that time, or are we way past that time?
Oh, wow.
A little bit past that time.
Are we? A little bit?
No, a lot.
No.
Yeah, we're way past.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Man, look what happens when you have fun.
Yeah, this was a blast. This one was good today. I really enjoyed this.
Oh, we're down. We're down. What's the next fight?
I don't know. I'm going to look right now and see if there's anything worth.
Just so you know, Matrix fans, Anthony will be a guest on our show. You can probably guarantee it after some big fights. Whether, I don't know if we'll be doing UFC, but I know boxing for sure.
We should be. We are working. I have, as I shared with you, I have a friend that is going to get us some press passes to some live fights. So we may be able to broadcast to it. I'm supposed to hear from him next week.
Okay.
And if that's the case, that will be a blast. If the three of us could broadcast and really.
So we could shoot a podcast from the event, or do they want us to call the event?
Well, that's what he's waiting to find out. It's going to be one or the other.
How much fun would that
But I can imagine if we call a fight, we could some way put it on the podcast, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, that would be a blast.
Dude.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in.
Wait, are you the color?
I don't know.
Play-by-play?
We'll let him decide. He is the psych major.
Yeah.
But I am more interested in
I think you would be great at color
in
because you have more insight.
more. I'll do whatever. But I'm more interested in revisiting this bar that you owned after the next fight. I want to, I want the more personal aspect of
That's
of
the
major
private
network.
life.
Yeah, I want to get into some of these
John wants to know my story. I told him a little bit about it.
some of these more intimate stories.
He was like, "You need to write a book."
Yeah,
I've been told that, but I would probably be murdered.
Wow. Okay, so when there's nothing worth anything.
Come on.
I mean, there's a fight coming up next week on Showtime. Keith Hunter.
Garcia fights soon.
I'm looking for it. That's what I was looking for. Hold on, give me a second.
I thought Garcia fights. You know what fight's coming up that I want to see is Yoel Romero and Israel Adesanya.
Yeah. Mikey Garcia is fighting Jesse Vargas on February 29th on DAZN.
Oh, that's this week.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight.
Who do you have?
Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
Mikey's,
Is he back at his weight?
I believe it's a welter. Yeah, he's back at welter.
Okay.
And then you have Chocolatito is fighting on that same card.
What?
He's on the same card at bantamweight.
Chocolatito?
Yeah.
Did he rise from the dead?
He did. He's fighting someone I've never heard of.
Oh, God. I don't want to see him fight past
No.
his ability.
So that is, but that's not going to appeal to many fans outside of really diehard boxing fans. But I'll be more than happy to discuss it.
Oh, I definitely want to watch it. That's on DAZN?
Right.
That's this Saturday.
Yes.
My buddy's over from Tampa.
So I think that's pretty much it. And there's no other big fights coming up anytime soon, except for.
I know the UFC has a few.
Yeah, I think Ryan. I want to see about the Ryan Garcia Linares fight when that comes up. That's one I want to see. That's the one I want to discuss. Shakur Stevenson.
You don't like him?
I do like him, but it's just these aren't headliners. Hey, James Kirkland still fights.
He fought Billy.
He fought Billy.
Yeah.
Canelo really beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he did. That I was worried about. He looked dead.
He did. I mean, I thought that he was.
He got knocked out and felt like a tree.
And he knew. Speaking of which,
Speed it up. Yeah, we got to
right.
wrap this up. We'll bring this around the next time.
absolutely.
Thank you again,
Thank
brother.
you.
We'll see you after another fight
Yes.
for sure. And maybe in Miami, we'll be doing it sooner than we're on again.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
all right, everyone, we're out.
Take it easy.